When you're implementing these habits, there are countless benefits that make an impact in your whole life in other areas, such as greater peace in your family, better productivity, greater sense of well-being, greater skill at sticking to something, whether it's a budget or a project, eating healthier and being more productive at work. Don't we all need greater productivity these days? Less scrolling and more actual doing that moves the needle forward for our lives and for our children. Are you looking for reasons to exercise? Or do you need convincing that exercise is essential for your self-care? Or how about this? Have you put exercise on the back burner because life is too busy? Well, in today's episode, you're going to hear 4 reasons why exercise is an essential habit for your self-care so you can stay motivated and consistent. Is it hard to make healthy food choices and find time to exercise because you're too busy? Welcome to Self-Care for Busy Moms. I'm your host, Susan. That was me, overwhelmed with my kids' schedules, running things smoothly and ignoring the stress that was affecting my body. But then I found ways to bring myself back to health with food, exercise, and Christ. I can't wait to share them with you too. Get your step counter and remember the sunscreen. It's time to get started on your self-care. Hey, I know you're tired of figuring out meals and what to make for dinner, and I know that you're tired of making the same meals all the time, and I know how stressed it can be to figure out what to make for dinner. So I want you to consider how you would feel if you had to put a meal together, but you weren't stressed because it's been prepared in advance. I'm going to help you distill some basic elements to a Mediterranean meal so you can whip up a few different meals based on the basic elements that you already prepared in advance. I want you to go right now to sign up for this free workshop at suroselfcare.myflowdesk.com/workshop. Again, that's SURO selfcare.myflowdesk.com/workshop. Or you can head over to my website at suroselfcareforbusymoms.com. Again, that's SURO selfcareforbusymoms.com. The link to sign up for the workshop will be on the website. So this workshop is called Meal Plan Mediterranean, Nourish and Flourish. And we're going to go live on Tuesday, January 27th at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'll also be giving away a door prize at the event. You don't want to miss out. So are you in? Hey friend. So a while ago, I've read this amazing book called The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. In the book, it explains how keystone habits start a process that over time transforms everything. So when we're talking about keystone habits, we're not talking about getting every single detail right in order to get to a goal, but it's actually really identifying a key action or a key habit that is then used as a powerful lever for change. So these are habits that matter most because these are the ones that start to shift or dislodge and remake other patterns. When research was done on the impact of exercise on daily routines, it was discovered that when people start habitually exercising, even with a frequency of once a week, they started experiencing changes in other areas of their lives, often unknowingly. Typically, people who exercise start eating better and they're becoming more productive at work. And it was discovered that they showed more patience with colleagues and family, and they used their credit cards less frequently, and they said that they felt less stressed. It's not completely clear why, but one thing is for sure, based upon this research, exercise is a keystone habit that triggers widespread change. Something about exercise spills over and makes other good habits easier. Another keystone habit is that when families who habitually eat together for dinner seem to raise children with better homework skills, higher grades, greater emotional control, and more confidence. But here's the thing. Does it have to be dinner? I think the key here is finding a time for families to eat together, whether it's for dinner, for breakfast, or for lunch. Find a time that works for your family. But here's another keystone habit. Did you know that making your bed every morning? This is correlated with better productivity, a better sense of well-being, and stronger skills at sticking with a budget. I found all of these to be great anecdotal affirmations of so many things that I am already doing and that we're already doing as a family. And for me personally, it validates why exercise is so important. It also validates why eating together for dinner or for a meal is so important. And also why making my bed in the morning is so key to productivity. Somehow, these initial shifts start chain reactions that help other good habits take hold. So here are the 3 keystone habits that we can all work on to build in our lives. Exercise regularly is the first one. The second is to eat together as a family for dinner or for a meal. And the third is to regularly make your bed every morning. When you're implementing these habits, there are countless benefits that make an impact in your whole life in other areas, such as greater peace in your family, better productivity, greater sense of well-being, greater skill at sticking to something, whether it's a budget or a project, eating healthier and being more productive at work. Don't we all need greater productivity these days? Less scrolling and more actual doing that moves the needle forward for our lives and for our children. So how is exercise an essential habit for your self-care? Exercise, number 1, is the cornerstone of self-care. So 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 19 to 20 says, "Don't you realize that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit who lives in you and was given to you by God? You do not belong to yourself, for God bought you with a high price, so you must honor God with your body." When we're exercising regularly, even if it's once a week, this is taking care of our body that God has given to us. This is a matter of stewardship of our body. So the number 1 reason why exercise is an important part of self-care is that it is keeping our body healthy and strong. It increases our metabolism if you're doing strength training. It prevents injuries in our lives when we focus on functional exercise. We will be able to have greater energy to do what we need to do for God's glory in our family and where God has placed you. When we're full of pain in our body and weak and fatigued and immobilized by pain and inflammation, truthfully, we are not able to do all that needs to be done for our family. And we're not able to do what God wants us to do for His glory and where He has placed us. We're not able to minister to other people. We're not able to comfort others or be Jesus' hands and feet to those around us, especially if we are so wrapped up in our own bodily pain because we have not been able to steward our body well. If inflammation is through the roof because we've been feeding our bodies food that causes that very same inflammation. If we know of a family history with a health condition, we can take action now to be able to either minimize the effects or potentially avoid the health issue. But here's the truth. Death comes to all of us, isn't that true? And we'll all grow old and weak as our body wears down. But do we want to accelerate the process? Can we be able to do our best in our journey in life to steward our body so that we can have strength for as long as we are able? I think so. So the second reason exercise is an essential habit for self-care is that it's the single best natural mood regulator. Exercise triggers the release of endorphins, dopamine, and serotonin. These are your body's feel-good chemicals while simultaneously lowering cortisol, which is the stress hormone. So just 20 to 30 minutes of moderate movement can act like a fast-acting antidepressant. For many people, consistent exercise is more effective at reducing anxiety and depression symptoms of mild to moderate depression than medication alone. So this is another explanation of why exercise has a ripple effect on mood and our energy. The third reason that exercise is an essential habit for self-care is that it protects long-term mental and cognitive health. So exercise increases brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, which acts like a fertilizer for your brain. It's promoting new neuron growth and it's protecting against cognitive decline. Regular movement is really one of the most evidence-based ways to lower the risk of dementia, Alzheimer's, and age-related brain fog, essentially future-proofing your ability to enjoy life and care for yourself as you age. The fourth reason exercise is an essential habit for self-care is that because it is a keystone habit, as we mentioned earlier, you're not only getting the benefits of exercise with a natural mood regulator and having long-term health and cognitive health, but it's also triggering other habits that are so good for your self-care, like eating well, stress reduction, and triggers widespread change not only in your life, but in your families as well. I noticed when my husband and I are regularly in the habit of exercising, we actually naturally tend to do more active things as a family. Our family habits change and it impacts our overall health. Our family culture becomes more active and we're more open to doing things that are out of our normal comfort zone. For example, when we did a family turkey trot a couple of years ago in a row, it wasn't just once, but we did it actually for a few years. And we also did a 4th of July fun run when we visited family in California. So these are just a couple of examples of doing things that were normally out of our comfort zone. So I hope that you are motivated by everything here to make exercise a priority for you and for your self-care, because there are just way too many benefits to count. What is one thing that you can take today and implement to your daily life? How can you find ways to incorporate exercise into your life and with your family? The impact of a more active life affects not just our quality of life, so we can have strength and energy to do all that God has for us on this side of heaven, but it also impacts our children and the choices they make for their families, for their health. So to quickly summarize the 4 points why exercise is an essential habit for your self-care, first, it's stewardship of our body. Second, it's a natural mood regulator. And the third thing is that exercise protects against long-term mental and cognitive health decline. And the last thing, exercise triggers other habits that are so good for your self-care, making exercise a keystone habit. So don't forget to sign up for the free workshop. You're going to get tools to make better eating choices because you're finally paying attention to what your body needs. The free workshop will be on Tuesday, January 27 at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. You'll need to register to be there. And there's going to be a door prize. You don't want to miss it. The link is suroselfcare.myflowdesk.com/workshop. Again, that's suroselfcare.myflowdesk.com/workshop. You can also go to my website at suroselfcareforbusymoms.com, and there will also be a link to sign up there. God bless you, sister. Hey, Mama. Thank you for listening to the end. If you enjoyed today's episode, would you bless another mom who's looking for simple routines to feel healthy again? Also, please leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcast. I'm always so encouraged to know that this podcast is helping you. Together, we can encourage one another for long-term strength and health because it matters to our families and for future generations to come. Just a reminder that I am not a substitute for medical advice. God bless you.